Greetings, fellow adventurers, and welcome to Hazards and Hijinks, the interactive tabletop fantasy role-playing improv horror show. That's right. Once again, we find ourselves diving into the depths of our worst nightmares as we return once again to the Shadowfel. Now, thankfully, Captain Good and Plenty went over all the basics of the show so we can get right into the nitty-gritty. Starting off with, as we say every week, this adventure is built by you, for you, because we love you. That's right. We went to our social medias. We went to our Instagrams. We went to our Twitters, and we asked a couple of questions. Now, because our heroes did not encounter the monster from last week, they couldn't find it. That's going to roll over this week. So once again, they will be confronting the rust monster. Should they find it and defeat it, they will earn themselves a level achievement. But also, we asked what kind of quest you wanted our heroes to go on, and by an overwhelming majority you picked the slaughterhouse. So at some point our heroes will be offered the opportunity to slay a certain number of monsters to receive a level achievement. Should they accomplish both of these, they won't get 2 level achievements. No, they'll get 3, getting them that much closer to their next level. How fun. We also asked what kind of theme you wanted our show to have this week. Last week was body horror, and this week is darkness. So we'll be playing with darkness tonight, the black pitch of our souls and the unilluminated realities of the dark void itself. Should be a lot of spooky fun. All right, now that I've gotten that out of the way, why don't I get to the most important part of the show, where I introduce our players for tonight. Coming back once again, everybody's favorite Shaw. Put your hands together for Quin Shaw as Rathian, Sylvaticus, the elf bard.
Hello, how are everyone? I'm doing.
That's
wow.
Good. Doing is good. Doing is better than not doing. That's what we always say here at Hazards and Hijinks. Up next, everyone's favorite Romero. Put your hands together for Daniel Ryan Romero as Fizzlewigg the Fabulous, the Human Bard. Definitely not an engineer being tempted to his mad science roots.
That's right. Correct.
Yep. Nothing to worry about there at all.
No.
Wonderful. And joining us this week, put your hands together for everyone's favorite Smitherman. That's right, MC Smitherman as Jackson Wainwright, or Ripper, the human engineer.
You know, sometimes in this spooky time, we have to remember that the scariest things can be facing our own inner demons and flaw. Wait, hold on. Did you say rust monster?
Yeah, rust monster.
Fuck that. That's what scary is. I'm gonna go.
I forget that without his many degrees, he's essentially a fuckboy. And finally, put your hands together for everyone's favorite Yotsuya, Yotsuya, as Bricen Margaritaville, the orc monk.
Good to be back. What's rust?
Rust is what accrues on metal. It's the oxidization of iron, actually.
Huh.
Which has no effect on you because your fists are made of flesh.
Yeah.
Your all of your cocktail wear is stain proof. Is
Yeah.
steel.
Not sure why Ripper's so scared, but I'll go ask.
Haven't you ever wondered why he's never accepted your invitations to pool parties? Well, we're gonna find out tonight. Well, there it is, folks. There are our adventurers for this evening. So let's get this spooky story started the way we always do, with a hearty huzzah. And feel free to join in at home. 3, 2, 1, huzzah! All right, let's start with Bricen and Ripper. Bricen and Ripper tonight. Yes. So Bricen and Ripper are actually at Ripper's new doctor's office that he just set up. As the town of Oakvale has been building itself up after its many calamities and enjoying this era of prosperity brought on by the cool adventurers' continued success, Ripper has decided to dedicate his time to building a proper medical office. Not quite a hospital, he's not that ambitious yet, but in time he can see it growing to that point. No, it's just a standard small medical office where he can treat any of the more common ills in the community. Of course, this has upset several of the witch doctors and the druids, to say nothing of the priests of the Good Boy, which have filled the vacancy left behind after the destruction of the Temple of the Celestial Kitten. But Ripper's having none of that because he strongly believes that science, engineering, and medicine can overcome all of this mumbo-jumbo faith nonsense. He's met the Celestial Kitten on multiple occasions, and he hardly sees why anyone would waste their time devoted to them. Helping him in this endeavor tonight is actually Bricen. Bricen's just enthusiastic to help anybody. So he's been lifting, punching nails into walls, roundhouse kicking frames into place for doors, and other stuff about construction that I clearly know about. But the two of them are taking a quick respite from that, and they are enjoying a nice drink that Bricen had quickly shaken up for them with his Monk of the Drunken Fist style.
Bricen, I gotta say, with you helping out today, the actual amount of things that have gotten done has skyrocketed. Your techniques are unorthodox, but I gotta say I love them.
I mean, how hard is it to hammer a nail? All you do is, we couldn't find the hammer, so I feel like the easiest thing was to just, hit it really hard and it goes in, right? Maybe it doesn't, I guess it could be a little bit more straighter, but I mean, we got most of the things hanging up, and at least all the excess, partition walls and all that are down. So I think it looks pretty good for his doctor's office. I've never been to a doctor, but this looks about what looks right. It's your style.
Yeah. No, we got the, spot for the receptionist desk, and then, private offices and operating tables and stuff, and all my machinery and things.
Yeah.
Because as powerful as the Celestial Kitten is, I haven't seen many limbs get regrown. So these metal ones won't just be on me. Also, I do have to come clean about something. I did lie to you earlier. I knew where the hammer was. I just really wanted to see if you were gonna just volunteer yourself to punch the nails into the wall. And it was so cool.
Yes, awesome. I mean, I could have used the hammer to punch it in, but I think it was really awesome and a challenge to my skills to try to do something super tiny and punch it in, rather than, concentrating all my power to punch something big.
Yeah, some nice little training with the, that finger punching and stuff on there, and
really gave
focusing
me a chance to
that
flex.
in on. Yeah, it was very impressive.
Awesome, thank you.
How long have you been studying as a monk?
What year is it? It's been a long time for me. I've taken a bit of a break, the last year, and that traveling with everyone, but
Suddenly a gnome clears their throat, drawing your attention to the receptionist's desk, where a cute gnome with a beanie sits. Hi, I'm Bagel. I'm your receptionist, Dr. Wainwright.
Oh, I didn't realize you were starting so soon.
Yeah, well, whenever there's a desk for a receptionist, a gnome will appear.
Cool.
Huh.
Yeah, I got the flyers.
Well, glad you did. Also, you have someone waiting. I asked them to wait outside, but we can let him in now if you want.
Oh, yeah, sure. Bring him in.
As if summoned by some psychic force, a large cloaked figure steps in from the raining dark night outside. Their face is obscured by their cloak. Their hands are covered in thick leather gloves. Every feature about them seems to be completely obscured by some bit of leather or thick fabric. And they greet you with a bow and an extended hand, and quickly pull out an envelope from their wrist. I come on behalf of Engicon 1022. We are inviting all of the engineers of the greater Improvian era to join us in a celebration of all things engineering. And when we heard the illustrious adventurer Dr. Jackson Wainwright was in town, we had to send a personal invitation to you. I, as emissary, humbly give you this invitation now. Bagel grabs it and immediately opens. Yeah, it looks like it's actually tonight, going on right now. Why are you late? You gotta make appointments. You can't just come in here and that's not how Dr. Wainwright works. I apologize. I
really like
look
Bagel.
Forward to seeing you at the conference if you accept our invitation.
Sure. Yeah, well, Bagel, and as I go over my schedule with Bagel, I'm going to tap into Scythe, who is built into the office as a security measure, and say, hey, Scythe, can you do a quick scan on this here individual to see what's going on underneath all of that?
I imagine I can. My humor chip is still adjusting. Yes, let me roll that. Let's roll an engineering check. We'll set this check at 16, and so a d20 plus 1d6. Oh, 9. All right. You rolled a 9. So I'm going to say, I'm sorry. I'm unfamiliar with the layout. I'm still trying to figure out how Bagel got in.
I mean, honestly, with Bagel, it could have been any. There, we did, punching in nails did leave a few holes. Wasn't the most efficient way of doing things, but it was the more fun way. Appreciate your work. Continue, booting in and setting yourself up, getting acquainted with the physical space of the area. Well, it seems like my schedule is free, so
you should go. You should definitely go. It's so cool that you got invited to this. That's so awesome. You're so cool.
I haven't been since I was working with my family, and it's been a long time since then, and a lot has changed.
So you can show how much you've changed. Show how cool you've become.
Ah, hell! How could I say no to you, Bricen? Only on one condition.
Okay.
You're coming with me.
I would love to come with you. Oh my God, that'd be so cool. I don't know anything about engineering, so I'm excited to learn.
That's what we'd like to hear. All right. You never cut your name.
Oh, my name is Hugh.
Do I believe them?
I don't know. Do you?
I want to roll an insight check.
Yeah, there's no such thing as insight check. Let's roll a charisma.
Okay.
We'll set a d20. So it's a d20 roll, and we'll set it at 16 because you're not very charismatic.
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
of course. Of course. You've met plenty of Hughs.
Okay.
Yes. Hugh Mann, the engineer. And then he quickly kind of scuttles back outside into the rain and almost immediately vanishes into the darkness. With that, Bagel says, well, I guess I'll just clear out your whole schedule for the rest of the evening. Yes, you're free to go, Dr. Wainwright. I will be interfacing with Scythe to give you any appointments that may be coming up. As we are trying to run a doctor's office here.
Yes, absolutely. We got that Neuralink chip in, so Scythe will be in the building. You can just access him from that little intercom there. And yeah, thanks for helping out. Do I pay you? How am I paying you? What do you take?
You know what? I'm just happy to help. Yeah, that's what gnomes do. That's what gnomes receptionists do. We make sure that everyone has all the help that they need. And boy, howdy, Dr. Jackson Wainwright, do you need a lot of help?
Oh. Count to 10. Deep breaths.
It's okay. That's why I'm here to help too, you know?
Yeah. Oh, everybody's so helpful. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. With that, Bricen and Ripper set out because of Ripper's desire to get there on time. He first went
Was it
to
raining?
the stable master, but Bricen revealed he was terrified of horses. And so the two decided on a compromise that they would walk, as it was in the hills of Harm, not too terribly far out of town.
Well, point of order, is it raining?
It is raining, yes.
Cool. I don't have the replacements for all of them, but I've been working on a new gold titanium alloy that should serve instead of steel. And it tends to be more waterproof and is more tightly bound together. So then I'm not going to get my circuitry all. So I switch out my arms and my legs, but like my spinal.
That's nice that you would like to do that. Let's roll an engineering check to see if you do.
Oh yeah, I'm going to try to do that.
Yeah, all right. Let's roll.
Let's see if they work.
20 plus 1d6. 18. Yeah, you beat me to the punch. I didn't even get to get a DC out there. 18 is definitely enough. You have replaced.
So cool.
You have replaced all of your limbs. You are ready to go. Meanwhile, Rathian and Fizzlewigg are in the depths of Dr. Radicin's lab, where they've been for the better part of a few hours after the gibbering horror and amalgamation of twisted flesh created from the mutated bodies of other engineers had broken free of its containment, grabbed Mildred, and descended into the cavernous system adjacent to Dr. Radicin's laboratory. This, of course, caused more befuddled amusement in Dr. Radicin than anything else, and he immediately designated Fizz and Ray as his new lab assistants as he continues his research into the mutagen that he had developed. Since then, they were taken into the very heart of his laboratory, where there were even more twisted monstrosities. These ones were roaming around free. He had trained them to be custodial, taking care of the more mundane aspects of lab work, as he was showing both Rathian and Fizz to their quarters. Dr. Radicin, as you recall, is a giant iron golem with 3 legs and spindly limbs and a giant mechanical screen for a face. And in his chest, underneath very thick, magically tempered glass, is his brain, the only organic part of him that is left. And here we are. This will be your dormitory for the extent of the research period. You'll find all amenities you need are provided through the pulsating hole. Just simply say what you want, place your hand into the pulsating hole, and the mechanisms inside will produce whatever it is you need. Allow me to demonstrate. Rathian, would you like a hot cocoa?
would I like a warm brown substance from the pulsating hole?
From the pulsating hole. Yes, let me get that for you. Dr. Radicin turns,
No.
and yeah, like I described last week, everything is sheer metal, except there's this giant like sucker, like, and he walks up to it. One hot cocoa, and he shoves his metal hand in. You hear it kind of, and he pulls out a very beautiful mug of steaming hot chocolate with whipped cream on top and little shaved. And the pulsating hole kind of like puckers, and there you are.
Oh, can I give that a try?
By all means.
One cold beer. And I stick my hand in and go, man, this
You'll have to shove your hand into the pulsating hole and make an engineering check.
Sure.
So this will be open-ended. The higher you roll, the better your cold beer will be. So let's roll a d20 plus a 1d6.
Better.
23. What does the pulsating hole kind of feel like as you shove your hand into it?
So yeah, it definitely has the consistency of like a cloaca, which, you know, isn't necessarily bad. In fact, it's kind of nice. It's like really soft and it's very inviting. And then all of a sudden I feel this cold beer in my hand and I'm just like, man, this place is great.
That is a damn good joke. That is a damn good joke. Would you like 2 additional EP or 2 additional HP?
Neither.
Okay, neither. Then you get neither. You are struck by a black bolt of lightning and you take 2 points of damage.
Okay.
Oh, it's worth that. And then I then stick my hand back into the hole and request a potion of healing.
Well, unfortunately,
I put my hand in first.
A potion of healing from the audience. If the audience feels so inclined, they can donate $3 your way to give you a health potion. The puckering hole tightens and like squeezes around your hand, and Dr. Radicin places his mechanical hands on your shoulders. Oh, we don't want to overstimulate the hole. We have to give it some time to relax.
Fair enough. Is there side effects? What happens?
Oh, well, let's just say it's a mess.
Got it. Don't ring the doorbell too much.
Yes. You don't want to over agitate the pulsating hole. That's how you develop hernias. Moving on. These will be your sleeping provisions. He points to 2 cots that emerge out of the featureless metal walls. They also have the same kind of texture as the bodysuits that you were forced to wear, Rathian, and you realize that the texture of the bodysuit and now these pillows and this blanket are pretty much identical to the pulsating hole, which means all of this is made out of mutated flesh.
Oh my god!
I know, right?
Ew.
It's so comfy, like
like
a cloud.
Gosh. Okay. Oh no. My sensory. Did I ever mention that I have like sensory like texture stuff? You know,
Doc,
like certain things are just like no. Like this is one of those things.
This is it right here. This is what we need to be working on. Forget the body perfection.
No. This
is thoroughly good.
This is merely the result of my dissertations from engineering school. No. What I am attempting to do is master the path of the flesh, which is why your involvement is so crucial. We have proven the mutagen can work. However, we have to stimulate it to create the ideal form, not that shapeless amalgamation of teeth, eyes, and other implements, but something divine.
Can I
Okay.
do this,
You know what would
then?
be?
Is it cool if I take this idea and just kind of for liquor?
Yes, by all means. What is mine is yours, and what is yours is mine. Yes.
He's leaving money
Dr.
on the
Sylvaticus.
table.
You know what would be utterly divine? I don't know, maybe not having all this weird fleshy texture around and trying to turn organs into things, and maybe, I don't know, is finding our friend with
Yes, a field test of the gibbering horror would be a very valuable research asset. Thank you, Dr. Sylvaticus. I agree.
I know about it, doctorate.
It's hard to argue that.
He goes to the wall and touches like a little nipple that just kind of appears. He like touches it, and suddenly the whole room kind of pulls away from itself, becoming a pearl, and you can feel it descending down further into the cavern. After a few seconds, it opens up and it reveals a pitch black cavern. You can hear the echo from Dr. Radicin's mechanical limbs as they touch the stone ground. Dr. Radicin's sheer screen face produces a massive light, and so the spotlight kind of illuminates the cave a little bit. It is completely dark, unlike the caves that the Duergar make as their homes, which are illuminated by luminescent stones and sometimes phosphorescent fungi. This is completely dark. There is nothing alive in this cave. It is so far removed from anything comforting or nurturing to life that you can feel an oppressive kind of hatred to the idea that you're even there. And so I shall leave you with one notepad. Dr. Radicin hands you a notepad, one pen, he hands you a pen, and one two-way communication apparatus. Quick as lightning, his hand grabs onto your neck, and you feel something implant itself into each of your necks.
You are
can you hear me?
A couple throw pillows, and this isn't that bad, you know?
This is not the time for feng shui, my friend.
Very well. He then says, I will be observing from the laboratory core. I wish you the very best of luck on this research assessment.
All right, Valhalla.
He then enters the pearl again, which ascends back towards what you can see is the exterior of his laboratory, which is just a giant silver, almost looks like a donut, with various pearls kind of shooting off of it and spinning around it. Very, very sci-fi, matches his kind of like mad scientist demeanor.
Would I know the source of power to that light?
To the light? Well, that was, yeah, let's roll an engineering check. 17. Yeah, the illumination was just simple engineering. Some wiring, some isolated vapors inside of a crystalline chamber. It's a basic engineering check to build something similar if you wanted to recreate that kind of light.
Okay, great. We'll say
all right. Let's roll another engineering, and we'll add 2d6 to this one because you did so well on the check. $13, yes. You construct a small portable lantern from the odds and ends that you have in your various satchels and pouches. It provides illumination for about 10 feet around you in any given direction. Again, you can see the rocks are jagged. It looks like at one point this cavern was completely filled with water, but that must have been centuries ago. The limestone that was once within this section has been completely eroded by the water, and the water continued to descend deeper and deeper into the abyss. So you can walk around. It's very slippery. There's also an abundance of stalactites and stalagmites throughout this cavern. Where would you like to go? What would you like to do?
Oh, well, I haven't rolled anything yet. You know what? I find all that science. I think that's what people call it, science or whatever. Well, science relates to nature. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, I didn't hear that last bit, and I'm going to choose not to. I would like to roll a little nature check because I want to see, like, what is the history of these rocks.
Okay, yeah. Let's roll a nature check. We'll have this one open-ended. The higher you roll, the more you're gonna know. 5. So these are rocks. They're definitely rocks. Definitely not monsters pretending to be rocks. But contrary to what you first perceived when you came down, this place is actually teeming with life. It's just all hiding from you.
Can I see if any of the mineral is incendiary in any way?
Do we want to light it on fire though? Because we are kind of stuck down here.
So for you, that's going to be a wisdom check. And if Rathian wants to help, they can roll an aid. But otherwise, that's just going to be a wisdom check for you.
Okay.
I'll help. I would like not to.
All right, let's roll a d20 to help. So we need an 11 or better. Hey, we got it. All right, let's add a 1d6 to that wisdom check, and we're going to set the check at 16 because it's still a difficult check. Oh, the dice are on your side tonight, guys. All right, yes. Rathian is able to point out, while reminding you that you're in an enclosed space and probably explosives are a bad idea, they do point out all of the rocks and minerals that have incendiary qualities to them. And with a quick gathering, you're able to get roughly 2 pounds of explosive rock.
Cool. I saved that for later.
Yeah, that might be.
It is as you're exploring the cave, gathering this incendiary rock, you hear a chittering sound from behind you. It's beyond the light, so you can't see anything, but you can definitely hear what sounds like bone or chitinous material scraping against the earth in that kind of chittering quality. It seems to surround you, even though you're up right next to a very large kind of what appears to be a cliff face. It seems to be even just outside of the light above you on the sheer surface of the cliff. You can hear the chittering as well. What do you do?
Do you hear that?
Yeah, it's like kind of, like filling my head. It's like almost all I can hear, that clicking.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's probably not important, so let's just ignore it for now.
It's growing kind of concerning.
No, this is, trust me, I know my sounds, and this is just nothing. This is.
Oh, you know your sounds. Like your nature sounds. This whole place is teeming with life. You're talking to an Ivy Leaf elf, okay? Moss and stuff. all the time, just so much moss. And you're telling me not to be concerned about these life sounds? Okay, you know what? I don't like your attitude. I want to roll another nature check. Okay, I want to check.
All right, let's roll another nature check.
Skittering.
1d20 plus 1d6. Are you trying to identify what the sound is?
Yes.
All right, then we'll set this one at 16. 21. Yeah, you can identify specifically that its bones and chitinous exoskeleton from large subterranean insects. However, this is not a large subterranean insect. No, this appears to be what sounds like subterranean humanoids that are wearing these things as armor and weapons. That's as far as you can tell from the echoes and the things like that. And you're also, with your elven ears, able to pick up the breathing of these creatures. Which then goes deathly silent. Everything stops. Because of that roll, I'm going to say this is on you, Rathian. Odd or even? Let's roll a d4. Odd or even?
Odd.
All right. Oh yeah. All right. A hatchet whizzes by your head and stabs itself into the ground next to you. It's made out of what looks like a hip bone that has been shaved and repurposed into a hatchet. Suddenly, three small pale things jump out. They wear skulls atop their heads. They have big, huge eyes, and they hoop and holler. Ah! All right, let's roll a 1d6.
I look at Rathian and just go,
Ray.
You know this is your fault, right?
What?
All right, let's go ahead and roll.
Let's roll that 1d6.
Very unnecessary.
3. All right, that is going to hit each of you by 1. So that's something weird. You either take a single point of damage or you have something weird happen. What would you prefer?
Weird.
All right, weird. What about you?
Weird. Oh, just okay. Me.
No, Rathian, what do you want? Something weird?
No. Oh, okay. You know, I'm getting kind of a weird, like, standoffish vibe, like blaming me for the humanoid. Okay. I was going to say something weird. So.
All right, both of you select something weird. The little pale creatures run up to you, and they drop an enormous fish at your feet, point at it, slap it a couple times, and then slap each of you in the face.
Ugh.
That would make it Rathian's turn. Rathian, what do you want to do?
That fish was I could like feel the scales. Anyway, what do you do with that? Jeez.
Yeah, right, it's weird.
Is it an offering? Are they like trying to offer me a thing? Or are they just saying fuck you? Like, I don't know what.
Well, I mean, you can attempt to decipher the message, but I mean, you don't have any skills to that, so it would just be an attribute check, but you can try.
Attribute check. I feel very sciencey today. Just
okay, yeah, let's do an attribute check. So we're gonna roll a wisdom for you to try and decipher the meaning of this and their hoops and hollers and their squats and all that stuff. So we're gonna set this really high, so it's gonna be 18, and we're gonna roll the d20 for it.
Oh,
2. Brutal.
No.
Yeah, this is 100% a peace offering.
It is.
Yeah, 100% a peace offering.
Can I take the fish and slap Rathian with it?
Yes. You take the fish and you slap Rathian across the face.
I
Rathian, you take 1 point of damage.
And I scream real loud and then I slap I slap Rathian with the fish.
Okay. I take the
All while
fish.
cackling. Yeah.
Your cat. I take your fish and then I slap you with it. You slap me with the fish. I slap you with the fish. That's how it works.
All right.
So the two of you begin slapping each other with the fish, which this confuses the small, pale, subterranean monsters. They kind of look at each other confused, and then they begin just hollering at the top of their lungs, like. And then they jump back into the shadows, and suddenly you hear the chittering sound all over you again. There seems to be way more than the four that just jumped into view. But then you hear a heavier breathing sound as a large monster. This one stands about 9 feet tall. Very similar, very pale, almost hairless, blind eyes. But this one, where the other ones were small and had skulls atop their heads, this one has large jutting tusks coming out of its mouth. It carries a big, what looks like a giant femur that it's wrapped in sinew and cord and turned into a cudgel of some kind. And it drops down and it beats its chest, and then it immediately charges. Fizz. So let's roll a d6 for that. That hits you by 3, buddy. Well, actually it hits both of you, so you can have something bad happen or you can take a good amount of damage.
Bad.
All right. You take the bad.
Bad. It's just
all
bad.
Right, both of you take the bad. That makes it real easy for me. I am going to say odd or even. Both of you. 1d4 odd or even.
Odd.
All right. Rathian, odd or even? Frozen. I'm going to say they're odd as well, so we're going both for odd. Hey, you made it. Congratulations. That means you are going to be... The enemy has advantage on you for the next 4 rounds. So it gets to roll twice and pick the higher result. It smacks both of you with the cudgel, knocking you down to the ground. The lantern tumbles away from you, and now you are in complete darkness. This is what gives the monster advantage. As it's blind, it doesn't need to see you, but you're reliant on sight. Rathian, it's your turn. What do you do?
I am literally just being hunted and battered by this giant thing, and it's just totally dark. Is that right? Is that the situation?
Yes, you are in total darkness.
Okay.
As you can hear this thing pulling the cudgel towards you. You can also hear littler ones throwing like rocks at you and things like that. What do you do?
Hearing. Yeah, I can hear. I have like super ears, right? Also,
yeah.
I like sing magically. So why don't we use sound or benefit? Okay, how about I just I roll a performance check and I like try and do a little vocal thingy and just try to like echolocate.
I love it. Let's roll a performance check. This will be set at 14, so 1d20 plus 1d6. 17, yeah, you definitely made it. All right, sing the song of echolocation.
Hey, please stop.
Suddenly, with that, you kind of close your eyes and you can hear the reverberations with your ears, and it is as if you can see clearly. The entire cave is illuminated by the sound of your voice echoing off of the cavern walls. It's illuminated by the steps, by the stones being thrown. You can see it like fireworks going off all around you. There are approximately 36 of these things around you, mostly little ones, but there's about 4 of the big ones. But the big one that batted its chest is walking towards you two with the cudgel, and it's about to bring it down. That would make it Fizz's turn. Fizz, what do you want to do?
I would like to use a combination of rope and my triangle
Okay.
to climb the cave wall and attempt to escape.
All right, I love it. We'll set this as an engineering check. We'll set this at 14, so 1d20 plus 1d6. Oh, you can bump it with EP, or you can take the failure.
Can I use EP to bump that?
Of course you can. You can always
Great.
use EP to bump it.
Great. How much EP is it going to cost me to make that a success?
That's going to be 4 EP to pull that off.
Done.
All right. You make a quick grappling hook with your triangle. You shoot it up into the air, and sure enough, it lands on an outcropping of rock, and you begin climbing up quickly. Rathian, you can see him doing this. He's just going off of gut instinct because he can't see anything, but he
Yeah, I say
off.
after Rathian, are you just going to stand there and let them hit you? Come on.
Okay. No, you don't have to be rude about it.
Take your time.
Take your time. I did the acrobatics. I'm like super limber. Acrobatics check. Yeah.
The longer you tell
All
me.
right. Well, you'll be able to do that
more
after the monster
time
takes
you have.
its turn. The monster is going to swing its cudgel. And because I'm going to say pulling off that check means you're in a defense action, it's just trying to hit Rathian right now. So we're going to roll 2d6 and we're going to take the higher result. 6. Oh, that is a critical hit. So Rathian, on the critical hit, unless you burn EP to drop it down, it's a 1-hit KO or the worst possible thing. So what do you want to do in this situation?
I'll just burn EP. Jeez.
All right. You can burn 4 EP to drop it 1 category, or you can burn 2 EP or 8 EP to drop it 2.
Oh, I'll burn 4. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You burn 4. That means a fuck ton of damage or something really fucking bad. Which would you prefer?
How much damage?
For you, it's going to be 9.
Yeah, that something bad is gonna happen. Something really bad is gonna happen.
All right, something really fucking bad. Yeah, it smacks you right across your temple. So you
Face again.
you are now confused. So you have the condition of confused, and you are also frightened. So you are with confused. When you make an attack, you have a potential to attack your allies or yourself. And with frightened, any attack made against you is 1 category higher. And you have to immediately flee the source of your fear, which serves you pretty well right now, because I'd climb that rope.
Okay. Man, I am confused. I know monster bad. Monster bad. Me no want monster. Monster hit me more. I go to rope thing? Yeah.
All right. Then we're going to roll a d6, and you're going to tell me high, middle, or low.
The low one.
Okay. Let's roll that d6. 3. I'm going to say that's low enough. So yes, you begin ascending the rope. Your moment of clarity sets in, so you begin climbing the rope. Let's roll a acrobatics check, so a 1d20 plus a 1d6. Ooh! Oh no! Rathian, why don't you tell me what happens?
What? Words. Things. Well, I hurt inside and outside and I fall and it hurts more, and then I just go bloop.
Yes, that is exactly what happens. For those of you who don't speak confused, Rathian succumb to the brain swelling that they incurred by being hit in the head with a giant femur. So they tumbled down, but as they did, they tangled up the rope, yanking it out of its, that's the swoosh part that Rathian mentioned, yanking it out so both Rathian and Fizz fall down. Both of you land onto the ground with hard thud and are knocked out. Both of you fall unconscious. Meanwhile, Ripper and Bricen arrive at the convention center. This was a cairn built centuries ago by Duergar that has been converted into the convention center. You can see there are spotlights outside illuminating the sky that say EngiCon 1022. But as you enter, there's a stage. There seems to be a podium. There seems to be a table set up for different panels. There seem to be seats all over the place, but they're all toppled over, and there seems to be blood and viscera everywhere. Whatever happened, it was bad news bears. So what would you like to do?
Is this normal for how these conventions look?
Yeah, not in a good
okay,
way.
Okay.
No, like normal is bad. Don't get me wrong.
Oh.
This is one of the reasons I stopped coming here. I mean, it was in
Oh.
part due to because my work. The only reason I was here was because I worked with my parents. And then after that, the only time I came back after that was to work with my previous coworker who helped me develop all of the sort of mechanical, biological, like infusions and stuff.
Yeah.
But he went a bit too far with things. Like wanted to force people to become machines because that was like the ultimate evolution or something like that. And like humans and elves and Duergar and orcs, like all of the, physical races were imperfect, and the only thing that was perfect was machines. And so
Well, I'm glad you're not working with him anymore.
yeah, no, me too. And I kind of forgot just how gory these things got, because when you get a bunch of really smart, really driven, and really kind of bad people together, things like this happen.
Oh. So what you're saying is we're late.
Yeah, we're late.
You are definitely late to the party. You look
are there
around.
any survivors around?
Roll a d4. Odd or even?
Even.
Okay. 2. That is even. Yes. There is someone kind of shuffling around with they have a heavy robe on, and they seem to have a mop, and they seem to be mopping everything up.
Oh there.
It turns around again. It's obscured by the heavy cloak, but it looks at you and it kind of hisses. Oh, apologies. It drops the mop and kind of shuffles towards you. This one doesn't have the same gait as Hugh. It has like an awkward gait to it, as if one leg is very short and the other leg is longer, or limp in some capacity, and it has like a huge humpback that you can see even through the very thick robes.
We did not realize there were others attending the convention. Don't mind the viscera. We got a little too excited in the anatomy panel. But Dr. Radicin is so happy that you are joining us today. What is your name and your specialization?
Dr. Wainwright, cybernetics.
Dr. Wainwright. And this is your research assistant?
Yeah, I'm Bryson Margarita. Nice to meet you.
Very well, very well. Come, come, come. I will show you to Dr. Radicin. He will be most excited to have you here with us.
Cool. There was an ominous thunder crack on Radicin. So can I do a quick history check to see if I recognize that name?
Yes, of course you can do a quick history check. Unfortunately, you don't have history, so I'm going to say you can do an intelligence check. Let's roll a d20. We're going to set this at 16.
Is my ability still augmentations?
Your ability is still augmentations.
Would I be able to use those augmentations to
Yes.
give myself a
Yeah,
proficiency?
let's do it. Yeah, good on you remembering how your abilities work. So we're going to roll a d20 and you're trying to beat 12. 6. You can burn some EP or you can take the bump down.
Did I get the bonus d6 with that?
No, it's just a d20 on that, but the check is much lower.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, let's use some EP.
All right, it's going to cost you 4 EP, but you get a success. Scythe pops into your head. Hello, Dr. Wainwright. As you recall from the Annals of the Cool Adventurers, which you asked me to download, Dr. Radicin was an insane former engineer that the Cool Adventurers, specifically Bubbles, Michael Richardson, and Jane Goodfields, encountered last year around this season. They were attempting to perfect the single corpse golem and were interrupted in that task and seemingly destroyed after revealing that they themselves had abandoned the path of iron for what they called the path of flesh.
Gross. And very
Super
informative.
duper gross. From what we understand from Michael Richardson's account of it, he's just, and I quote, a big old fucking brain inside a robot.
Sounds like Michael. Good people. Okay. Thanks, Scythe.
Of course. With that, the creature,
Come, come. As I said, Dr.
This guy couldn't be any more ominous, could he?
It's definitely not a trap. Come, come.
Yeah, he said it's not a trap.
Definitely not. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a Bryson.
he
But-
then shuffles towards a door and begins touching on a few stones. The door opens and you see there's a sheer metal room inside.
Elevator. Yes, come. Elevator. Very nice. Oh, super cool. Oh, your engineering is so spiked by this. Oh, look at how fun. Ha, ha.
What's an elevator?
Something that's really, really cool.
I want to see the cool thing.
Yeah, it takes you up and down, but it does in these cool ways. And I start explaining how elevators work as we walk into it, and I don't really realize that I've walked into the elevator while explaining it.
Yes, the hooded figure does not enter the elevator as it closes. It goes,
Ha, ha, trap.
it closes, and then you can feel the elevator begin dropping at an extremely rapid rate. Both of you kind of lift into the air as this thing just seems to be descending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet. It then drops. It comes to a sudden stop. Let's. Well, Bryson, you're fine because you have acrobatics, but for Ripper, I'm going to need you to do a D4, odd or even.
Can I aid in that?
You can. Let's roll a
I wanna
D20.
aid.
We need an 11 or better. 15, yes. You catch Ripper just as he's about to fall face first against the ground at this sudden stop, but you catch him and both of you land on your feet. The door doesn't open, but instead a hole begins appearing at the base of this elevator, which is circular except for the flat surface where you're standing on. The hole is slowly opening, and you can see, well, you can't really see, but you can certainly smell a very pungent, acidic odor that seems to overwhelm the small chamber. If you want, you can do a quick engineering check or alchemy check. You can do a quick alchemy check for this.
Me?
All right, we'll do a d20 plus a 1d6. This will be open-ended. $16. Yeah. This is a strong transmutative alchemical substance. You're pretty confident just from the smell alone that if you or Bricen fall into it, you are going to suffer immediate polymorphing properties against your will, similar to the spell Baneful Polymorph, which just warps you into a bunch of like nonsense forms before reducing you into like a gelatinous amalgamation of flesh and teeth and eyes.
Cool. Sick. Great.
This isn't how you said elevators work. I don't like this.
Yeah, no, this is a bad elevator. I grab Bricen and like, hold on, and activate the jet thrusters in my back and my legs and try to, maintain air as the floor goes away beneath us. Is that able to happen?
Yeah. That can totally happen. Let's roll a d4. Oof. Yeah, you successfully rip off a panel and begin pulling out wires, and the thing suddenly closes.
Oh, okay. Great.
Oh, okay.
So then now that we have floor beneath us, I drop us back down. Okay. Well, now that I'm in here, let's take some looking into seeing what our other options are. What is this like a sheer sort of like it opened and closed without a seam?
Yeah, well, now that you've ripped the wires out, you can start to see that what it actually is made up of kind of a liquid metal, and the panel you ripped out is mostly the control mechanism that shapes the liquid metal. So it probably has a framework, and depending on how you input it, it's going to create different doors or go to different places.
This is inspired. I mean, liquid metal. I've only been toying with the idea of liquid metal in sort of like almost little robots, little like tiny automatons that run around and do complicated tasks together. But this is on a whole new level. I can study it later.
Yeah, let's study later.
Yeah. Sorry. Yes. Is there a way? Can I figure out how to get it to go right back up to where we started?
You can, yeah.
All right, let's hotwire that and go.
All right, that's going to be an engineering check. We'll set this one at 16. $13. All right, you link it to Scythe, and Scythe tells you, we can go to where you want, Dr. Wainwright. However, I would like to point out that a previous occupant of this was Fizzlewigg the Magnificent, as well as Rathian Sylvaticus.
Oh, Fizz and Ray. What are... I thought they were both bards.
They are, in fact, both bards. Would you like me to play the surveillance footage of their trip?
Yeah, bring that up so Bricen can see as well.
A screen emerges in the thin air, and you see a large mechanical monstrosity fitting the description of Dr. Radicin in this elevator with Fizz and Rathian. It descends down. The two of them exit. And Dr. Radicin enters again. Best of luck with the research. It closes, and he goes, "They're going to die." As the screen cuts to black.
Why was their trip so much less fast?
Because they went somewhere closer and less deep in the bowels of the planet, it would seem.
Would you like
Oh.
to go to their last known location?
Yeah. Yeah, let's route to there.
Yeah.
All right. You feel the elevator jerk and shoot kind of sideways. It then ascends before opening. You find yourself. The elevator is immediately filled with heavy smoke that obscures your vision. As you step out, this seems to be smoke everywhere. And so you step out. It's completely dark, but you can hear chanting. And so as you hear the chanting, you make your way out. And you see figures illuminated by a distant light dancing around, and you can hear chanting and chittering as the smoke just seems to fill everywhere.
Well, might
Chanting
as well go
anonymous.
find out what they're talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah. Do you know that language?
I don't believe I do.
Cool. Neither do I.
Let's find out together.
Yeah, I did this once before where Scythe was able to sort of figure out a language, but he's had to reroute a lot of processes with learning a lot about the cool adventures and a lot about more medical things so then he can keep up with me. So I don't know if he has processing power to do it, but I can try. Scythe, can you translate?
Yes, of course. The translations seem to be very simply put, food, 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 food.
Huh. Ominous, but a little bit less so than we thought. Or at
Maybe
least
they're
I thought.
hungry.
As
Hungry,
the
yeah.
two of you approach, you see that there is a large fire. That's what's producing all of this smoke. There appear to be several bodies kind of staked in the fire that are already roasted, but two that are on stakes being held by two very large pale creatures that you can see illuminated better as the fire flickers through this dark cavern are Fizz and Rathian, both of them bound and gagged at the mouth. They've just kind of woken up from whatever state of unconsciousness they were as they see the fire around them with the other creatures being barbecued in the fire. What do you do?
Is this part of a
We-
grand plan you two have concocted?
Wait,
Also, hi.
Do you need help? That doesn't look very fun
I
or
think
safe.
I've got them right where I want them.
All right.
Yeah.
Fizzes takes. Though that was the least convincing, yeah, I think I've ever heard in my entire life.
That sounds good. That sounds right. No.
And I can vividly recall when I drew a picture of a field for my parents and I asked them if they thought it was pretty and they said, yeah, and then immediately burnt it. So that's what you're up against, Ray.
Me, I think the very specific story.
All right.
Okay. I think we
Rathian,
should help.
Yeah.
Rathian, first, you have two conditions, so let's try and resolve one of them first. You're going to need to roll a d20. Do you want to fix your confused or your frightened first?
I'll fix my confused.
All right, let's roll a d20. We're trying to beat 14. Ooh, 8. You want to burn some EP to boost that up or still be confused?
How much EP me got?
You have 5 EP left, and this will cost you. Oh no, wait, I'm sorry. You have 7 EP left, and this will cost you 4.
That's EP. I'll give you some.
All right, you manage to shake it off, and you are no longer confused. You are just horrified by the fact that you are going to be eaten alive by all of
Oh,
slime
shit.
monsters. All right, Bricen, you're up first. What do as Rathian begins screaming at the top of their lungs?
I'd like to dash forward and try to see if I can knock out one of the creatures that's holding the stakes that they're on.
Okay, yeah. That's going to be an athletics check, so let's roll a d20 plus 1d6. Nine. Yes, you run up to the first one and you sweep under its legs. This one was holding Fizz. Obviously, there's another thing on the other side of it. So as it tumbles, the other one picks Fizz up and swings him like a cudgel, smacking you for 3 points of damage.
Oh, that hurt. Fizz.
Sorry.
That would make it. Rathian's turn. Rathian, what do you do? Now you are still frightened, so you have to try and get away from the source of your fear, which is all of these monsters. So that overrides anything else. How are you going to accomplish this?
I'm gonna run.
Well, you are bound to a log.
No. I want to get out of the log. How do I get out? How do I get out of the log?
You tell me. How can you get out of it?
I wanna roll. And the thing. I can do Arcana. I can do Arcana.
Do some Arcana.
Arcana check.
Let's roll a spell. We'll set this at 14. So 1d20 plus 1d6. Yes. You successfully cast Animate Rope. The ropes begin to slink off of you like snakes, and they begin wrapping around the two monsters that were holding you down. You drop to the ground, and you immediately just start running back to the elevator, which you can now kind of see through all the smoke. That would make it Ripper's turn. Ripper, what do you do?
Yeah, you go. Great. So Fizz is still tied to a log?
Yes, Fizz is still tied to a log that is currently being used like a cudgel against Bricen.
Right.
Also typical.
I'm a doctor first. I'm a doctor. I'm supposed to help and heal people. But they're attacking my friends, and sometimes the best defense is a good offense. Sounds like I can help by doing this. And I on these arms, the forearms sort of split open, and giant blades spring out, and I just run and start carving through the guys that are holding onto Fizz, and hopefully cutting away some of those ropes in the meantime as I
Can I help?
rip and tear.
Okay, yes, I'm gonna say this is a power attack.
Yes.
Let's roll a 3d6, right?
Can I help? Is that a thing I could do?
You can't help on an attack. No, you know what? You can. Let's roll a d20. You need 11 or better. I'll allow it. 18, yes, that's a help. Let's add another d6 to that roll, so 4d6. Okay, 15. Yeah, 15 points of damage to the creature. You just rip and tear into it. It's going to collapse to its knees. Blood gushing out of it as it falls down, completely dead.
Who's next?
Suddenly, an enormous pale monstrosity rears up. It picks up two massive femurs. It has like the skull of what looks like a bull on its head, so it's got horns, and it howls as it charges towards you. That would make it Fizz's turn. Fizz, your bindings were cut in that chaos, so you are free. A voice enters your head. Hello, Dr. Fizzlewigg. This is Dr. Radicin. I've noticed through my observations that you seem to be surrounded by Grimlocks. As it so happens, we've been struggling with this Grimlock infestation for quite some time. And were you able to destroy, let's say, 6 Grimlocks? I think that will have the effect of scattering the rest of the herd. If you accomplish this, I will reward you. Thank you and goodbye. You've found your quest for tonight. It is a slaughterhouse quest. You have to slay 6 more of these Grimlocks. Should you accomplish that, you will earn yourselves a level achievement. Fizz, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I would like to use my animal handling on these Gridlocks.
On the what?
On the creatures?
So the creatures are humanoids, so they're going to be immune to animal handling.
All right. So then, I would like.
But are there, as I described, they did have other things with them. So, like in the fog of war with the smoke kind of burning your eyes, do you see any animals with them?
No, I've got a solid plan B. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna use my Deus Ex Musica and use my triangle.
Okay.
To thank you, Ripper. I was quite happy with that. To play essentially a dog whistle.
Mm-hmm.
To either confuse or incapacitate them.
All right, yeah. Let's roll a D20. All right, yeah. I would say you begin playing that tune. What does it sound like?
It sounds like feedback. Like,
okay, yeah, just feedback echoing through the cave. Now, because these things are blind, they rely on echolocation, just like Rathian was doing with their spell. So they drop down to the ground and they all begin like screaming as blood just gushes out of their ears. A lot of them scatter. Like I said, there was about 36 of them, but all that remain are the big ones and then the big ass one. So there were 5 big ones and then the singular big ass one, probably the chief. And so there's your 6 if you want to take them out, or you can do like Rathian and just book it for the elevator and say screw this quest, because it's going to be the big ass one's turn. He steps forward and he swings those 2. He's going to swing those 2. He's going to swing those 2 cudgels at you, and that is going to be a D6. He's going to swing both of those. Let's roll a D6.
And with a 10, can I say that sound was a little more indiscriminate than I wanted it to be?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for clarifying that it was more indiscriminate than you wanted it to.
Oh yeah, that hurt.
Yeah, that also hurt me in the process.
Yes, I will be factoring that in on your roll.
Excellent. All right. So,
we rolled a 1. That means it crit failed. So that means all of you, it fumbled, so it doesn't inflict any damage, and everyone in combat, so that's everyone but Rathian, can either choose a power heal or a power attack against this monster right now.
Power attack.
Power attack.
Power attack.
All right. We got 3 power attacks on this bad boy, so let's roll. What is that? 9d6?
Do we summon a Zord now? Is that?
I'm gonna leave it up to you. We're gonna roll and then.
9d6 is a lot.
Yeah, you got this. Sorry, that's a lot of math. Just remember.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all he needed. That's exactly
here
what we
for you.
need when
Yeah.
rolling the dice is wisdom. 31?
Thirty.
Around 30.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's dead as fuck. So the three of you describe how you kill it.
It's so
Starting with-
intense. Even the voice in the sky doesn't know how much damage that was.
It's just you fucking killed it.
Oh yeah. I think that like feedback brought it to its knees, and I like jabbed my arm like mantis claw things into its back and held it in place while Bricen just pounded it.
I just went to town. I was just, get let loose a little anger that I really freaked out with that elevator thing, that up down thing. I didn't like that, so I had to release some tension.
Wow,
Yeah,
both
absolutely.
Bricen and Ripper used my face as a springboard.
Yeah, and I used your face as a springboard with my like jet boots, so it's just boom, fire right in the face.
That's fair. I did.
I love
kind
it.
of
Yeah,
deserve
you
that.
wreck this son of a bitch. You wreck him. He is done, diddly done. Awesome. He collapses down, so now there's just the 5 biggins. That's going to make it Bricen's turn. Bricen, what do you want to do?
I'm coming fresh off that attack. That felt good. I love the teamwork. That was, we did something there. So I'm gonna turn around and grab the nearest creature and just, you know what? I think I'm gonna launch another attack. I think I'll launch. Let's do a standard attack this time. Let's do a standard attack.
All right. Yeah, let's do a standard attack. Now, because you're fighting multiple targets, you double your attack. So let's roll
Yes.
4d6. $17. Yes. I'm going to say we're gonna split this up. Yeah, you do 8 damage to 2 of them, and 1 damage to a third. 2 of them drop to their knees. They are pretty heavily injured as they all kind of focus their attention on you. That would make it Rathian's turn. Rathian, what do you want to do? They're terrified. They are committed to the terrified, and they are just running back towards the elevator. So, right? Or do you want to shake off the terrified?
I'm alive.
Yes.
Damn. Wow.
Let's roll a d20. We're trying to get 12 to shake off that frightened category.
Yes.
It's a nat 20, so you are not only not terrified, you are emboldened. So you are now going to charge into battle, and let's roll a power attack as you pick up your ukulele and begin playing a song of battle.
Song of battle. You got it.
All right. Sing that song of battle for me.
Oh, my thing is back. I just wish that everything okay. That's my song.
Yeah, that's good enough for me. It ripples through. It strikes one of the biggins, causing it to explode. There are only 4 remaining. That would make it Ripper's turn. Ripper, what do you do?
That was metal as hell.
That was metal. And you would
I'm
know
gonna
75% metal.
Yeah, I know. The look who's talking, right?
You're struck by a black bolt of lightning for
Damn
2
it,
points
I
of
knew it.
damage.
2 points of damage. All right, but that's exactly all going according to plan because I used that lightning to charge myself up, and these things are made of flesh and bone.
Yeah, they are made out of flesh and bone, and they're wearing more flesh and bone.
Okay, cool. Now, not many people know this, but I got my name from, not from ripping off my own limbs and replacing them with metal ones. I mean, that was part of it, but it was also in part due to a great invention I made. And the last time the only time it was shown off was at the second to last one of these conventions I was at. I since cut open a hole in the universe and threw it into the abyss, but maybe there's a chance, powered by this black bolt of lightning that struck me through the earth or underground and lightning still hit me, maybe I can use that to grab this thing back, since there's that emotional connection here, and now there's the physical connection and stuff, and there's a whole bunch of weird things going on.
All right. We're going to roll a d6. Low, middle, or high?
Middle.
Middle. All right. So 3 or 4. That's what we're looking for.
Can I use EP to give myself a better chance?
We'll see.
I got a 4. Never mind. No, don't need it. Never mind.
Pull out the Reality Ripper. You have it in your hands. That gives you the benefit of a free nat 20. So why don't you describe to me what happens next?
Yeah. So I think that black lightning goes down and like swirls around with Abaddon and Elysium in my chest, and I grab through that Discord and I pull this gnarly looking like futury sort of like long metal staff with this angular blade up at the top of it, and it's just got this big gem that lines down the center of it that crackles with energy.
I love it.
I spin that, bring it. It's good to see you again, baby. And then I teleport by carving a hole in reality behind that big guy, like the chief, cut into his leg and cut it out of space and time.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. You do that, and it causes a ripple through reality that as with each slice of this massive scythe, it just cuts through reality. It passes through rock. It passes through flesh. It just keeps going. Theoretically, it's going to go into space, into the cosmos, and never stop, essentially. So then it just goes further and further and further. But it definitely hits.
Further beyond.
What did I say? There was 3 more remaining. It hits all 3 remaining biggins, and it slices through them. And all 3 fall down dead, leaving just the chief, who now only has 1 leg because his leg is gone. It's just in another reality. He rears up and he grabs onto this scythe, and he begins like pulling against you for it. Let's roll a d4, odd or even.
Odd.
Okay. Oh, he punches you in the face as hard as he can. You take 4 points of damage as you tumble back as he takes this scythe into his own hands. Fizz, it's now your turn. What do you do?
I was about to say, I can't believe I got rid of this thing, and this is why I got rid of this thing.
Yeah, this is why you got rid of that thing.
I impotently throw my triangle to try and end this this big bad.
All right. Let's roll 3d6.
Exactly.
10. All right. Now, as you throw it, it whistles through the air, and because of the feedback from earlier, you have really sensitive tinnitus. So, like, you drop to your knees, you take 2 points of damage from the tinnitus,
Right.
but we're going to roll a d4. You tell me odd or even. If you get it wrong, something bad happens. If you get it right, something good happens.
Even.
Okay, let's roll. 2, that's even. Something great happens. Now, you weren't the only one affected by the feedback. So were all of the Grimlocks, including the chief. So he also drops the scythe, grabs his ears as the triangle hits him for 10 points of damage. He drops to his knees, falling onto the blade of the scythe itself. Let's roll a power attack. 9 points of damage. The blade cuts into him, and his chest begins to turn into like a black hole as he begins eating himself. But he's like holding against the gravitational force as the reality ripper is digging into him. He's like holding against it. We're gonna roll a ripper. Odd or even?
Even.
Okay. 4, yes. He can't do anything. He's like holding all of his force against himself to keep himself from collapsing into this scythe, so he can't remove it or anything. He's just kind of prone. That's gonna make it Bricen's turn. Bricen, what do you do?
You know what? I think I'm gonna use my my power attack, and I think it's time
Okay.
to finish this.
All right, roll that power attack, 3d6. 12. Yes, you leap into the air and bringing down your knee right on the center of his back. He falls further into the scythe of the reality ripper. It slices through him. He kind of crumbles into the blade itself, eating him like a black hole. You jump away from his carcass as it like disintegrates into nothing, and you grab the scythe itself, and then you toss it into the black hole that was created from the chieftain, and it is lost again to the ether between realities, safe from causing any more harm. With that, you have successfully overcome the slaughterhouse. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
I walk over to my triangle. I give it a kiss. That literally never works.
It literally never works. That is
Not once.
true. The three of you look around surveying the damage, and sure enough, Rathian has passed out from the sheer amount of gore and viscera that they have witnessed. Even though they overcame their fear, they've been pushed too far. They're a celebrity. They're not used to the adventuring life. But the three of you look around, you can hear the scattering of the other Grimlocks as they disappear, and suddenly a hologram appears out of Fizzlewigg's eyes. It's an enormous mechanical monstrosity, Dr. Radicin. Well, I couldn't have imagined a better result than that. Thank you for getting rid of my Grimlock problem. As it so happens, I have located the gibbering horror and your friend, who is barely mutated, I would like to add. And so for your assistance in this research, I will be allowing you to return home. Your assistance is no longer needed, and you may yes.
Important question. When did you do that?
Well, did you think I was just watching your conflict in a lab? I was hunting the gibbering horror.
No, I'm talking about these.
Oh, when I injected you with microbots in your neck, they spread all throughout your body. You're essentially a flesh puppet. You begin dancing.
Oh, all right.
Yes, it's from my earlier days when I believed we could integrate machinery and flesh, like those fools on the path of iron would believe. Of course, I now realize that flesh is the only machine worth bettering, so I've abandoned that. Anywho, as you make your way back into the elevator, it will take you promptly to the surface, where you will find your friend Mildred in a gestation egg, as the mutagen returns them back to their original form.
Do we have to take the up down thingy? That thing went way too fast last time.
Oh
and I
no,
don't
by
like
all
it.
means, you can attempt to reverse spelunk your way out of here. I'm sure it won't take too long. You're only about 6 miles underground.
Oh, okay, only 6 miles.
Yeah.
That's why I
Not a
went
big
so
deal.
fast.
Yeah.
To get those kind of speeds, are you like vacuum sucking the thing down, or are you using electromagnet? Or no, you're twisted and messed up.
I certainly
But-
am. And yes, I'm using electromagnetic impulses.
Where are you drawing all the power to make that work?
Oh, wouldn't you like to know, you silly Billy?
No, I don't need to know. I got my own, unending power reactor.
I would like
I
to
bet
know,
you do. I bet you.
Yeah, Ripper's cooler.
but I would like to know.
I would like
I
to
would also.
leave.
Rathian
You
pops
just
back
woke
up
up.
and begins walking towards the elevator, thoroughly done with this shit.
This has just been
and
too much.
The other 3 follow, hoping to leave the horrors that they witnessed deep underground behind them, to be locked in the realm of sleep, confronted only in their nightmares. As they make their way into the elevator, it closes up and rapidly ascends. They arrive at the convention hall itself, where the hunchbacked cloaked figure,
Dr. Radicin thanks you for your contributions to his research. Here are some parting gifts. Here is a Engi-BARD hat for each of you. And here is chili. No need to ask what kind of meat it is.
Can I
I'm
hand
vegan,
them a
oh, well, then you definitely don't want to eat the chili. Anywho, bye-bye. And sure enough, you see Mildred, or what you assume is Mildred, because half of her is an octopus. But instead the tentacles end with like screaming smaller Mildred faces, and those seem to be slowly melting away as her form slowly congeals back into what she once was. This is on a little wheelbarrow, and you are able to wheelbarrow her back.
Did she get a haircut, or
Don't think that's
Yeah, Fizz. Yeah, she got a haircut. That's what
That
happened.
was really gross timing, actually. Okay.
I knew it.
I'll take her back to my office. Apparently, my evening is filled, and it's
Yeah, as you return to the
doesn't die.
surface level, you are flooded. Scythe floods you with a ton of messages from Bagel.
Dr. Wainwright, you need to get back here quick.
You have a ton of appointments. Apparently, there's some type of biting plague that seems to be infecting the entire town. But that is a nightmare for another night. What's going on with Dr. Radicin? They are going to leave him alone in this dark cavern to commit all kinds of horrific atrocities. Will Rathian ever be able to overcome their fear of Grimlocks now that is deep-rooted in their soul? And did Mildred get a haircut or not? These mysteries and more to be discovered next time on Hazards and Hijinks. Wow, what a great adventure we had tonight. Oh, boy, howdy did it buckle down on the body horror. Like, it was just gross for that first half hour, wasn't it, folks? And then it was real tense when we had Rathian and Fizz trying to hold off that horde of subterranean monsters. Then it was tense again as we had Ripper and Bricen try to navigate through Dr. Radicin's murder dungeon, and culminated in a great bloodbath slaughterhouse fit for the ages. We saw a lot of cool stuff, and you can see more cool stuff if you follow us on our Instagram, on our Twitter, and right here if you like, follow, subscribe. Thank you to everyone who followed, and subscribed tonight. That was awesome. But it seems like our chat got a little rowdy. We're gonna better moderate that in the future, that's for sure. If you want to pick up these hats, contact us on our Twitter and maybe I'll send you one. I'm not sure. It depends on if you were good or not. But I'm not going to end the show on teasing whether or not you deserve a Christmas present, because we ain't anywhere near Kit and Miss. No, I'm going to end the show as I always do with a hearty huzzah. And feel free to join in if you feel so inclined. 3, 2, 1, huzzah!
Huzzah!
That rust monster's just like gnawing on
Just munching something.
never to be found.
I I'm not sure how rust monsters work in this sort of reality, but the gold titanium is what my arms and legs are made out of, and that's mostly for the rain. But there's still a lot of iron and steel worked up in like my neural links and my skeleton.
Yeah. No, I mean, we'll have to find out at some point. I'm gonna do an oops all rust monsters next Ripper
Oops,
episode.
all rust monsters.
It's so much lockjaw.
And it's just gonna be me in the episode. It's just a solo adventure.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna call out sick.
Tune in,
Everyone
guys,
calls out
the
sick.
Solo adventure. Ripper. Oh, how
Bye,
spooky! How
have a good
spooky! All right, bye. Also, we have a Patreon.
You did end on a
We have
plug.
Patreon. You
Please
check it
give
out. I
us
don't know.
money.